Kicking off the top 5 best GPUs for 2025, we have the AMD RX 6600, costing around $2.50 per FPS, and currently priced at about $200. I'll leave all the links to the best prices for the GPUs I'm showing today in the description, so don't forget to check it out. The RX 6600 is currently the best deal for 1080p gaming. Sure, it's a card from 2 generations ago, and you won't be able to play everything at Ultra, but at $200, you simply can't find anything better in this price range. It runs most games at high settings at around 70 FPS or so, and some of the games it handled even surprised us. I honestly didn't think this card would get 70 FPS in God of War Ragnarok, but I'm glad I was wrong. Anyway, it's still not enough for some really demanding games, but low settings and some upscaling will do the trick. If you can go above $200 to have a bit more leeway for playing everything at least at 1080p Ultra, the next step up that's worth it is the RX 7600. This card will run pretty much everything you throw at it at 1080p Ultra, and it delivers about the same raw performance as the RTX 4060. But while the 4060 currently costs $400, the RX 7600 is only $300. And sure, ray tracing isn't great on the AMD card, but at 1080p, ray tracing doesn't even make much sense anyway. So whether you go with the RX 6600 or the RX 7600, you'll be well served for 1080p gaming while making the most out of your money. In the top 4, we have the best 4K NVIDIA card you can get at a near MSRP price right now, the RTX 57 Ti. With this one, you can run pretty much anything at 4K Ultra at around 60 to 70 FPS, which is a great frame rate to turn frame generation on without facing major response time spikes. The RTX 5080 just isn't worth it at the moment for its whopping $1,300 price tag, and it's not that much better than the 5070 Ti to justify the massive price gap. Of course, if you have the money and want the absolute best out there, go for the RTX 5090. It's the most powerful GPU you can get right now. Just be prepared to spend a lot. The 5070 Ti averages around 60 FPS at 4K Ultra across some demanding games like Monster Hunter Wilds, and while you're paying about $13 per 4K Ultra FPS with this card, with the RX 5080, you'd be paying a massive $20 per 4K Ultra frame. So yeah, don't buy that one unless it gets close to its $999 MSRP. Moving on to the red side of things, in the third spot we have the RX 9070 XT. This is my top recommendation for 4K Ultra if you want the best raw performance around the $800 to $900 price range. You can find this card for about $850 right now, but since it was just recently released, we might see its price drop in the near future, so be sure to check prices in your region. Links are in the description. Compared to the 5070 Ti, it delivers 5 to 7 more FPS in specific titles like Horizon Forbidden West and Ghost of Tsushima, although in some other games like Cyberpunk, the green side still holds the lead. Of course, all of that includes ray tracing because AMD cards now handle ray tracing way better than previous generations, and they're often on par with the 5070 Ti's performance, believe it or not. Then again, both of these cards can hit over 60 FPS at 4K Ultra in most games, so you can always kick in frame generation if you want a bit more fluidity. Just make sure to check the prices of both the 5070 Ti and the 9070 XT. If they're the same, I still recommend the 5070 Ti. But like I said, the 9070 XT's price will likely drop at some point, so basically pick whichever one is cheaper. Now, going all the way down from 4K to 1440p, we have a couple of interesting choices here. First, the RX 9070. This card was released at MSRP recently, and even though its prices have gone up a bit since then, it's still a beast for 1440p and possibly the best you can get in the $600 to $700 price range. It runs everything you throw at it on 1440p Ultra, even some of the most demanding games like Cyberpunk 2077 at above 100 FPS. No ray tracing, of course. With ray tracing on, it gets closer to the 50 FPS range, so there's really nothing to complain about when it comes to this card's performance. The one reason I'm not putting it in the top spot is the fact that it's still very hard to find in stock, and when you do find it, the price is often well over $700, which honestly isn't worth it for this card. So I'd say if you can wait a bit and are willing to periodically check its availability, this is the card you should go for. Otherwise, if you want a 1440p card, but it needs to be right now, check out the top one. And in the top one, we have the 1440p card that's currently the closest to MSRP, and my top pick if the 9070 isn't in stock, the RTX 5070. It's currently around $600 to $650, with its MSRP being $549. Now, while this card does perform about 10 to 20% worse than the 9070, it's right now about $50 to $100 cheaper, and it's much easier to find in stock. However, even though it's not as powerful as the 9070, it's still a beast for 1440p, and you can run most games at the highest settings possible. Of course, you're still bound by the optimization of the games you're playing, given how some developers are using FrameGen as an excuse to leave their games unoptimized. So don't expect to have perfect native performance with this card without using DLSS 4 or even FrameGen. I know it would be better if there were an actual card that could run everything at native 1440p, especially one you pay more than $600 to get your hands on. But that's the new reality of gaming in 2025. Anyway, now that you've found your next GPU, click here to check out the best 1440p monitors you can get in 2025, and here for the best 4K monitors of 2025. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to stay tuned to the best GPU and monitor choices, and I'll see you in the next one.